Good evening, WWE Universe. I am Marty, and this is MartiMania, Ep.4. This is Tevin Carmouche.
Host of the Tevin Carmouche Show.
He is back for week number 2. 2 weeks in a row, not The Rock. Although we are coming to you, I guess, via satellite. We cannot be live in your home. So it's a little bit different from The Rock.
We're celebrating the 1 month anniversary, too.
Yes, 4 weeks. That's 1 month for those of you who did not know that. So let's jump right into it with the merch spot. I will explain both of our merchandise items today. Tevin James is wearing a hat from me that I bought, I want to say January 22nd, Monday Night Raw, Lafayette, Louisiana. It was the Monday Night Raw before the Raw Rumble. I looked for the hat for months. Couldn't find it anywhere that particular night. Saw it at the merch stand. Ran and bought it. So that's the story of the hat. This shirt, on the other hand, I don't remember exactly when I bought it. I want to say it was 2009. But it could be any time from 2005 to 2012. John Cena was the champion, and he's been the champion almost that entire time. Anyway, let's hop right into this week's edition of MartiMania. Recapping and also very much discussion about Wrestlemania, which is coming up in a week from today. Everyone should be really, really excited because WrestleMania 28 is going to be probably the biggest WrestleMania in the history of the WWE.
Yes, it sure will be.
Well, kind of, because there's one humongous match, and then there's Daniel Bryan. So speaking of which, Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus. I think this is so degrading to the World Heavyweight Championship.
True. We did go from the Mexican aristocrat, Alberto Del Rio versus Edge, to Daniel Bryan and Sheamus. Yeah.
He said Edge. Edge's last
We're
match.
not superstar.
Producer wants to chime in.
Tidbit to that. Randy Orton actually had an interview this week, and he said his match is way more important than this one. Just a little tidbit.
Wow, did you guys hear that? RK overrated. His last-minute effort to get to WrestleMania, he feels is more important than Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus. Now, here's something I find interesting about that. I didn't know this till just now. What I find interesting about this is when Daniel Bryan was on NXT, Randy Orton was right in line for that big Kool-Aid jug of everybody drinking Daniel Bryan's Kool-Aid. But now when it comes time to share the spotlight, Randy Orton is like, my match is more important than theirs. Ridiculous. Are you kidding me?
True. I mean, it's the World Heavyweight Championship, the most prestige title in the whole WWE. And now some match that just got in there is more important than that?
Randy Orton fighting the Million Mask of Kane. He's like a freaking Scooby-Doo ghost. He comes out with a welding mask. He takes it off. There's another mask. He takes it off again. He's Rey Mysterio. He takes it off again. He's Undertaker. He takes it off again. He's like Coco Beware. Like, what is going on with that? It's the dumbest thing. Stupid.
The man of a million masks.
If Mask Kane was coming back to fight the Undertaker and make it 20-0, there was no reason for him to come back with his weave. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why he had to steal. I don't know who's got dark hair. Katie Lee's old weave. She left backstage. Put it on his head. A mask. A welding mask. We'll get back to this match.
I agree. That should have been him. Mask Kane coming back for Undertaker. WrestleMania. You know, 20. His 20 and
yes, I was just going to say that.
How it all started all with Kane and him and his brother and them ending it. And that would have been the perfect end. That would have been it. I thought they should have brought back Paul Bearer for that one. Surprise. Paul Bearer coming in. That would have been perfect.
But no, Randy Orton had to slowly walk his oil chest all the way to WrestleMania. Slither his, yes, he's the Viper. He had to slither his oily little self back from all those injuries, tape up all the bones, staple that ankle back to his leg, and walk himself into WrestleMania. And Triple H had to stick that nose where it did not belong and be in the match against The Undertaker. Triple H, Randy Orton, go back to Evolution. Let these two fight each other. It would have been awesome. Mask Kane versus The Undertaker, where it all began, where it all ends. 20-0.
And that should have been in a, I think that still could have been in a good Hell in a Cell match too with those two.
Yeah, the demons. The devil's favorite demon in
And the Devil's Playground inside. All of that would have been good.
I don't remember the Undertaker. Oh, the Phenom and the devil's favorite demon. Maybe Paul Bearer could have came back too. Kane,
True.
Kane.
And Shawn Michaels still the special guest referee for that match. That'd be something else. I think that'd be alright.
Yeah,
it wouldn't too much,
it would be an interesting heaven-hell concept like it did at WrestleMania 25. I was at that show. If they would have done that, that would have been really, really cool. But it makes too much sense. So therefore, it will not happen. Daniel Bryan and Sheamus, I think this would have been a fantastic match if it was for the Intercontinental title or the U.S. title.
True. But the United States Championship is actually not being defended at WrestleMania.
Is that so?
Yeah.
It is so. Who's even got that title right now?
Santino Marella.
Now, see, this is what I mean by not building up these titles like they should be built up. Daniel Bryan shouldn't have the World Heavyweight Championship his first year. Let's be honest. He just shouldn't. I mean, it took... Poor Christian worked like 45 years to get it, held it for 45 minutes, and then lost it. That's messed up. What happened to those days when people had to earn their spot? What happened to those days?
Yeah, I understand 17 years, you work your way up, get the championship, or you walk in 5 minutes and get it. Earn...
I know. Let me say it before you guys can type it. I know he's been a wrestler for longer than that. I am talking WWE. Yes. Not wrestling in the backyard, not wrestling in ROH, not wrestling in the mailbox. None of those places. I'm talking about wrestling in the WWE. You have not been there long enough for that title.
Yep.
Now, I'm a little biased because I think Alberto Del Rio should have got it. I just like some people and I just dislike some people. I like Sheamus, but I don't think this match shouldn't be at WrestleMania. It just should. So, on to the Kane versus Randy Orton match, which we kind of sort of got into. It's just kind of random.
Not really a rivalry, nothing built into it. They never had like a past history, nothing going on. There's nothing really in there.
I mean, it would have even made more sense if... It would have made more sense if... I don't know, if they'd have put CM Punk and Kane. At least they had a little something going on for a second. Or John Cena and Kane. What happened to that? He's done Rising Above Hate, I guess? He's over that? Yeah. He's like, I was in an ambulance, that's good. Wrap it up.
Steve was all done with.
So due to the fact that there's not that much history in this match, I guess we can just move on to the next one, which is the Divas match, which we know who's in it now. It is Kelly and Maria Menounos from Extra versus, Tevin, wrap it up. Who's the other two?
Eve Torres and Beth Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix. The big girl that can wrestle, kind of, sort of. I don't think she's a great wrestler. I said this this is show number 4. I've said it 4 times.
Yeah, it took me a good little while to realize what you had said. You don't have to be big to wrestle. I mean, you got plenty of big girls who can't wrestle.
Yes. And I'm not saying she can't wrestle. I'm not saying that. But everybody wants to get on Kelly and the smaller, less manly girls for not being able to wrestle. Let's be real here. Let's not just like people because we're supposed to like them. I thought Karma should be back. Karma
really should be back. I mean, I don't really worry about the Divas too much now. I don't really focus on them. I'm sorry. I just don't really like the Divas. I don't think their wrestling skills not really too good with me anymore. I don't really like them.
Who do you think, Tevin, on a little side note here, who do you think was the best diva that ever laced up her boots? Don't just take wrestling into consideration. Take everything in, all of it, the presence. Who is your favorite?
I gotta say, when you heard that laugh and the lights went off and it got all black, and you saw that girl walk out with the blonde hair and point her hand in the sky, you knew who was coming out.
Yeah, Trish was the bomb diggity. That was my road dog. I love Trish. She's awesome. I do really like Michelle McCool too. But Team Teddy versus Team Launrenitis, or Big Johnny. I don't really know where that came from. Or Clown Shoes, as CM Punk likes to call him. So we got Team Teddy, Santino Marella, Kofi Kingston, Zack Ryder, R-Truth, and the Great Khali versus Team Launrenitis, Christian, Jack Swagger, David A-List Otunga. I don't know if he's A-List anymore, whatever. Dolph Ziggler, and Mark Big Henry. Now, each team has one more member to get, so we don't know who the last 2 people on either side will be. I'd love to see Alberto Del Rio on Team Launrenitis. Who'd you like to see?
On Team Launrenitis?
Sure.
I think I kind of go with you, and I think it's going to be Alberto Del Rio. And some of me think it's going to be Launrenitis and Teddy Long going to be on those. The two last members.
Oh, you think they'll be the last two people?
I think so.
Themselves? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. I don't know who else could be on Raw either. Who else? Raw. Sorry. Bragging rights. Don't know where I'm going with that. Or Survivor Series, however you want to slice it. But Team Teddy. I don't know who could be the last person on Team Teddy. Rey Mysterio might come back. I think he can get himself together long enough to not break anything on his way to the ring. I don't know. I'd like to see Rey Mysterio. I'd like to see
him in his crazy WrestleMania outfits every year.
What about Edge making a surprise return? Can I hope? No? No? Hey. Can't let it go.
Little try.
Can't let it go, man. I love Edge. Edge is just amazing to me.
But as for who you going for? Team Teddy or Team Launrenitis?
Team Teddy. I'm a SmackDown girl at heart, so anything having to do with SmackDown, I will always side with SmackDown.
That is true. I like SmackDown. It got some great wrestlers. Made me laugh a lot. But as for the members on Team SmackDown, they're kind of like a little joke. Team Raw is all about serious. They're all serious. All know what they're doing in the ring.
But all know what they're doing in the ring.
Yeah, most they know. You know how to win a match.
Well, yeah, I guess I could see that. But let me put this towards you here. Let me bring up this point. Bragging rights 2 years in a row, SmackDown has won, even though they've always had the team that everybody was like,
True.
These guys are gonna cream them. Yes, they did. SmackDown's won both years, haven't they?
They won, but their team wasn't trash.
I think. Well, no, I'm not saying that team was trash. I'm saying that when you line them up superstar to superstar, it's always like Raw guys are like the top bill guys, and then it's like SmackDown is like, oh, okay, there's so and so.
Yeah, but
you don't think?
I
always found
superstar to superstar, not superstars to.
I think some of these guys are superstars. Like Kofi Kingston. What is going on with Kofi Kingston? Why do they keep playing Kofi Kingston over and over again?
Exactly.
Kofi Kingston should be he's such a great wrestler and a great guy, and he's just, I don't hang out with him on the weekends or anything, but from the few times I've seen him interact with fans, and he seems like he's really a fan himself, and that means a lot to me, and I feel like someone can relate to me as a fan. And I think Kofi Kingston has that, and I don't see why he hasn't been even in contention for a major title run. Don't give me no Elimination Chambers. That's not what I'm talking about. One-on-one matches.
What I think is going to work, what's going to really pop in their heads, is if Kofi Kingston changes his outfit, get a little bit more intimidating, and maybe gets his voice a little bit more deeper, and he has a heel turn. I think it's really going to shock fans.
Oh, my God. Kofi Kingston
a heel turn.
How would they even
they're really
do
going to
that?
be surprised. A high-flying heel, you can't beat that.
That would be really cool, now that I think about it. Because I remember when they put Kofi Kingston against Randy Orton, I really thought that was going to be Kofi's platform. But all he did was throw paint on a car, and then he just kind of kept it moving.
True.
So I don't really know what happened with that. But let's go to the next match, which looks like John Cena versus The Rock. Oh, no, I'm so sorry, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes versus The Big Show.
Oh.
I'm a huge Cody Rhodes fan. I'm sorry, Cody. It's nothing against you, dude. You're awesome, but The Big Show is just big. He's going to be at the show.
I like The Big Show. And I watched his matches from a while back and his matches now. And yes, he has the worst WrestleMania record in the world, in the history. But he may be able to pull it off and get the Classic Intercontinental Championship at this WrestleMania. Which, looking at him, might be his last.
Oh, I don't know about that. I just think Cody Rhodes, like I always say, his character development is just amazing. And I'm totally pulling for Cody Rhodes in this match because The Big Show, why let him win a WrestleMania now? He's already lost so many.
Which is true. Cody Rhodes has been dominant over 2012 so far. And he is now the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history now. From what I heard. From what they said on SmackDown.
Oh, well, you got to go with them. Booker T's there. And if you can't understand what he's saying, he usually makes a lot of sense. So, let's go to the next match, which is John Cena versus The Rock.